Madam Secretary, it is a delight to have you with us today. I am so grateful that President Trump entrusted you to run the Department of Labor, because somebody with your background and your expertise as a small business owner, everything that you bring to the table is going to be such an asset, not only for the department, but for our country. And so I could not be more thrilled to have you sitting before us today. And I just wanted to share, wherever I go in my district, I hear from young moms and dads about how hard it is to get back into the workforce after a life-altering event, such as having a newborn, which you're very familiar with as a new grandmother. Congratulations! But I've been so honored to be a part of that working group, along with my colleague, Representative Bice. And we put forward the More Paid Leave for More Americans Act, which is truly a public-private partnership to encourage our states to get more moms and dads back into the workforce, because we know, I think we can all agree, that workforce flexibility leads to employee retention, which I know is so important to you and your work and all that you're doing. And I'd like to give one more plug to my home state of Louisiana. We, through the Department of Veterans Affairs, launched what we call the BOOT. It's an initiative to improve the recruiting, employment, and retention of our transitioning service members through partnerships with local businesses and organizations. And together, efforts like expanding paid family leave and supporting veteran workforce initiatives demonstrates how innovative, flexible approaches to employment can strengthen both our labor force and our economy. So I'd like to start by asking you what the Department of Labor's plan to ensure those who may have taken a gap in employment, such as our mothers, our dads, and our veterans, how they will have the tools necessary to re-enter and contribute back to the workforce.
Well, thank you, Chairwoman. It's an honor to be before you, and as we serve together on Education and Workforce Committee, we know how valuable the workforce is. So a couple of things. One, thank you for working on the legislation with Congresswoman Bice. Certainly, we want to be, from the Department of Labor's perspective, this is important to grow that workforce. And whatever we can do on the technical assistance, as was once said, glad to do and work with your office as you move legislation forward. That being said, yes, the culmination of my experience, and thank you for recognizing that, I am the daughter of a Teamster. I do understand how important that is for the American workforce. I am a business owner and have created a business over the last 20 years. That also plays into it. I'm a former mayor, and understanding what happens on the ground in these respective states, and now former Congresswoman and now Secretary of Labor. Put those together, and I believe that is exactly, and I know that's why the President said you will be best as a secretary to bring all sides to the table and get to good bipartisan legislation for you all. And then how can I enforce those? Through Louisiana, the goal is to grow that workforce. Everything that we can do. As a new grandmother, understanding how key that is, and that's at the direction of the President. How are we going to grow this workforce, whether it's through 1 million apprenticeships, the pipelines that we need, respecting and understanding every state is very different than the one-size-fits-all is not always going to work, and we need to listen to the market-driven economy, what they're asking for, and the flexibility and modernization of labor law. That being said, I look forward to working with you and your offices to do just that as we move through the America Really First agenda and streamlining how labor law has been done in the past and still protect what the Department of Labor's mission is, and that is to protect the American worker, the job seeker, as well as the retiree as we move forward.
Awesome. So transitioning over to my background's in higher education, as you know, and I am passionate about training up our next workforce. And I'm very well aware that a 4-year degree is not for every student. We have some amazing fields that our students can go into through the trade schools and community colleges. I have to give a shout out to Louisiana Delta Community College back in my district, because they are truly stepping up to meet the workforce demands by producing these programs that are going to do just that. We just announced a new meta data center in my district, and they are actually stepping up to make sure that that workforce is ready to go to fulfill those high-paying jobs. So can you talk a little bit to us about what the Department of Labor is doing to make sure that we are bolstering that workforce and not just focusing on 4-year institutions, but our trade schools and community colleges to make sure that those partnerships exist so that we can produce the next generation of workforce?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Community colleges for far too long have kind of been, left behind in knowing that they are really the conduit between what the community is asking for as well as what we can produce as a skilled workforce. And so upskilling, reskilling, that's the job of the Department of Labor, is to make sure that that pipeline is always running and fulfilled. And, post this last administration and post COVID, we are just now getting up and running, and with under the direction of this president that, I firmly believe he is the president of the American worker, because he's focused on all workers across the board. And I'm going to do everything I can to fulfill that. And one of those ways is to upskill, reskill, and fulfill that apprenticeship, 1 million apprenticeships every single year. And we're well on our way.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.